If you suffered anything in life, they would dump you like hot shit.
Yeah, that's my new phrase.
Trackheads!
Woo, vroom, vroom. I rarely question the motives. I'm not buying it. I'm detecting bullshit. I have very strong crapdar detection.
Ping, ping.
You're through to 1-800-DRAMA.
The show where you share your biggest dilemmas.
And we help you navigate them.
I'm Shaaba.
And I'm Jamie.
Come join us as we help people figure out if they are the drama.
Because sometimes you just need an outside perspective.
And we can all expand our own mindsets along the way.
Wait, am I the drama? Red flag, green flag, Shaaba. When someone you've just met automatically gives you a pet name.
Oh, that's a red flag right there.
They shorten your name. Like if I met someone, I'm like, hi, I'm Jamie. And they're like, oh, I know a Jamie. I'm going to call you Jimmy.
Okay, but Jimmy's kind of cute. Do you know what I get? Shabs. Oh, shabby.
Yeah.
No. If anybody tries to pretend
Shaaba.
that we're on that level, no one's ever called me Shaaba beyond you, pretending that I'm a hairdresser.
I could say so many more.
But if anyone ever tries to do that, I will not answer to them. If they're like, oh, shabs. Oh, he's shabby.
You have a very strong thing against shabs and shabby.
Well, like, shabby has a bad connotation.
Do you ever feel like there is like sometimes racial stigma to do with your name or like cultural discomfort because your name is not typically Western?
Interesting.
That people make it something that's more like memorable or palatable to them?
No, I've never thought that.
Oh, sorry.
New fear unlocked. The one thing that I feel that with is when people don't even try to pronounce my name if they see it written down. They're like, oh, and I'm like, babe, it's 6 letters. Samantha is harder.
That's
like,
why
legit.
I was asking, because I know a lot of people fumble over your name, say it wrong, just get stressy, and you get like a lot of like stuttery sh.
I hear you, but no, this is just a personal ick. Can't be giving me a pet name like that.
Yeah.
What about people who are like pet chicken? I use like cutie quite a lot. I'm like, oh, thanks, cutie.
You have called people like the love cutie type pet names, and I've been like, no, wrong context, and you're like, I hear it.
I saw it.
Yeah. Or you're like, excuse me, my love, where is the paint? And I'm like, Shaaba?
You are not a 60-year-old woman yet.
Yes. Delay that aging, my love. But if somebody does it to my name specifically...
That's when it's a red flag.
Yeah.
Little terms that you use for everybody, all good.
Yeah.
But don't shorten my name. Even in text or like emails, if someone's like Samantha, I will respond and say Samantha. Unless they've actually said to me, if they've signed something Sam, then I'll start using Sam.
Yeah.
But otherwise, no.
Yeah.
I will use your name.
I'm with you. Don't call me Jim.
My grandpa used to call you Jimmy.
Yeah, but that's your grandpa.
I love that. I thought that was really cute.
That doesn't bother me.
But from a stranger.
Yeah, family's fine.
Yeah.
Friends fine. Stranger. Mm-mm.
All right, Jamie, as we enter the spoopy season of Halloweeny.
It's very spoopy.
Spoopy indeed. Are you ready to go fishing for a
drama?
Let's go. Ooh, drama.
Am I the drama, Shaaba?
Always.
Girlfriend refuses to shower.
Ooh.
That's not really even a title. That doesn't tell me anything.
Am I the drama? Girlfriend refuses to shower. Tell me how it is.
What have you done?
Let's see.
Well, I don't want to just know what your girlfriend is doing.
I'm in my early 30s, my girlfriend's late 20s, and she refuses to shower, says
Okay.
OP. Full context, she's on the spectrum and has difficulties with motivation for certain tasks.
Right.
That changes things, but
Yes.
only to an extent. I'm
It
intrigued.
provides context.
I've been in the military for about a decade. That provides a lot more context.
Right.
And live a very disciplined life.
Yes.
Hygiene is incredibly important to me. Historically, more soldiers die from poor hygiene and disease than they do bullets.
Wow.
I did not know that.
Learn something new every day.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but we've watched a couple of documentaries on army training, etc., etc. And when we say, like, I don't think OP is exaggerating in any way when they say that in terms of hygiene, they live a very disciplined life.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure.
Everything very disciplined.
Yes, but for those who might not know that, the military even trains you on how to wash your balls.
I think so.
They have like routines for the shower. There's
Yeah.
ways on how to wash and hold your guns, how to make your beds, how to wash your bodies. Like everything is done in a very specific way.
Very military.
A very military way. Funny that.
There's a reason why it's like military precision.
After spending 30 hours without sleep, flying across the country and on layovers, flight delays, etc., we FaceTimed. She told me that she hasn't showered in 7 days whilst we were having a conversation.
Right.
I told her that it's gross and that she needs to shower. She told me that she couldn't. Her excuse was that her mental health prohibits her from showering and it gives her a sensory issue. That is not where I thought that was going.
Well, on the spectrum, sensory issues can be a big thing.
Yeah.
So evidently she has some related to a shower.
Yes, I think like the most that I've heard about it from people who have mental health issues that are things like personal hygiene routines is that they're either too overwhelmed to do it or they just simply forget.
Right.
But I've never heard of a sensory issue stopping you from
Yeah,
showering.
interesting.
Yeah, I persisted and I told her that it's super important that she takes care of herself. This went back and forth a few times with her refusing to get out of bed and take what I consider proper proper care of herself. I asked her how I can be supportive of her, to which she declined to respond. She's historically declined a response to this every single time, and this inability to shower has been a long time issue for her.
Oh, okay. I've got a lot of thoughts going on in my head.
You want to address them now, or should we keep going?
I think I'm going to save them for the end.
You marinate, my love, you marinate.
Like a little chicken.
She proceeded to hang up on me and then post on her Instagram story about how she hates all men.
Oh, interesting.
That is really something. Assuming that it's correlated. That is very odd behaviour. After messaging her about it, she said she hates all men, including me, saying I'm treating this in the exact worst way possible.
I have a thing about like saying you hate somebody. Like, I don't know. It's really loaded to me.
It is a strong word, but I really, really, really don't like you.
Is
it?
Like,
you're like, that word is like, no, that means something else.
Yeah.
It's funny.
I think
you can hate aubergine.
Oh yeah, but like aubergine's not gonna get hurt feelings.
Aubergines have feelings too.
Well, the aubergine doesn't get eaten, so it's probably sat in the fridge going, woohoo, I get to go
Be
mouldy
eaten
instead.
by someone else.
Yeah, you'd eat it. No, I just think it's something that even when we have had some of our worst arguments...
No, it's a phrase that we don't really use. Okay, but maybe to OP and OP's girlfriend it's less loaded.
Yeah.
But I hear you. She proceeded to tell me, says OP, that this is a mental barrier that she can't get over and that I am belittling her. I don't feel that I was belittling her, but rather expressing my concern to something that's really important to me. She then proceeded to make a public post about how I'm belittling her. Oh, so this has gone way more targeted. A grotesque exaggeration, changing certain details to make herself seem like the good guy and changing my intent, saying that I was doing it to belittle her when all I want is for her to have good hygiene.
Right.
I told her that her friend circle is always going to side with her no matter the issue. That's not good friends, babe.
Yeah.
Just putting it out there. PSA. If your friends or any of your loved ones have blind loyalty, they are not acting in your best interests.
We don't want yes men.
We don't. No. And that what you need is an anonymous, unbiased opinion on the matter.
Welcome to Reddit.
But, I mean, OP's not going to be able to do that either. He's also biased. I also told her that it's not okay to make our private lives public like this. Totally agree with that. This post is anonymous, so it's not the same as sharing with our social circle. She says that I'm belittling her and making her feel useless, whereas this is not my intention at all. I just want to shower as I feel like going a week without showering is unacceptable.
Right.
So, am I the drama? And if so, how do I approach this? What do I do? I get mental health makes certain tasks difficult, but this is not something that I can just let slide. And there is an edit here as well. I really do love her, says OP. I care about her a lot. This issue is serious enough. I want to be supportive somehow, but I'm at a loss, and any guidance on how to approach it would be really appreciated.
Oh, so many thoughts.
Give them to me, Jamie. What are your thoughts?
Right. My first thought is I am a daily showerer. I couldn't imagine going a week without showering, and like hygiene is important to me. However, 7 days, it's a lot, but then also in the context of showering and hygiene being something that is traditionally and commonly quite difficult for people with certain neurodivergence and certain mental health issues, it's not a lot in the grand scheme of things.
So you're saying 7 days is not a lot?
I don't think it's extreme.
Okay.
I can see where he's coming from with like, look, I've been taught how important hygiene is. I want to share that with my girlfriend and I want her to be the best possible version of herself, whatever. But I can also see from her perspective of like, somebody's telling me to wash. I have an issue that means I really struggle with it. It is a big task for me. It is not like just the standard simple day-to-day task that it is for everybody else. I can see how she could feel belittled by that conversation.
I totally agree with you.
So I'm very much struggling because I can see both perspectives and I can see why they're both not having a good time in this scenario.
I agree with you. I can also totally see both sides.
Yeah.
All we can do in these situations, right, is provide our own perspectives, and our own perspectives are based on our own lives, and we have a difference in showering.
We do.
You shower very militantly every day. That's a thing for you.
Yeah.
And it comes from a background that I think we've spoken about like a tiny little bit online, and we don't need to get into it. But if you don't shower
personal
every day,
reasons, it makes me feel good. If I don't feel great.
You really don't feel good. Like, it's quite an uncomfortable thing for you to do.
Yeah.
And I remember when we first started going out and living together, you were like, how do you not shower every day?
Yeah.
This is so confusing to me. Whereas I grew up actively not being able to shower every day, first and foremost for cost reasons, because it was just too expensive for our family to do that. There was also a lot of us, so it was just not sustainable. And then growing up, I do think that for me, I mean, it's not a sensory issue. I think that's where the difference is. And I'm assuming it's because of my ADHD. There are some things in life that I just forget to do.
Yeah.
And I need to have things like routines or I can't do them. And it is just not sustainable for my daily to-do list to shower every day. Because when I shower, I freaking dawdle for goodness knows how long afterwards. It's very annoying. Even when I'm like, I have something to do, I'm going to make a really conscious effort to shower and get ready really quickly. Getting ready is just so annoyingly difficult. I hate my brain for it. It's not a lazy thing. It's just a thing. I just wanted to explain that for anybody who doesn't like understand how it works. It's just like, you're just being a child.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. Sometimes it can't happen. having said that, I can tell when I get a little bit stinky. Do you know what I mean? Like, even though it's not integrated for me to shower every single day, hair math is also an important thing.
Yeah.
I think I shower like every 3 days.
Roughly.
Sometimes 2 days if I'm
Feeling extra productive.
yeah. Or like if I've gone to the gym and I'm particularly sweaty, I know to shower.
Oh, you shower if you do something that
is
exerts.
Physically, yeah. So I think like I can't really go 4 days or more without being like, no, I need to shower. And I guess my point of saying this is when you're telling me, hey, babe, you're a little bit stinky in the nicest way possible, you never go, you're a little bit stinky, but you're like, it's kind of funny like saying it. It doesn't sound like it can come out in a good way, but it's like, hey, have we done a Shaaba MOT kind of vibe, you know, like it's not in a horrible way, but I appreciate that call out because there are moments where I will forget and I'm like, it has been on my mind, I know I need to, let me actively now dedicate time towards it. I don't get offended.
I now know and I fully understand why you sometimes forget to shower.
And it goes beyond showering, right? Like sometimes it's like, hey, have you eaten today? Hey, have you drunk water today? Hey, you haven't turned the light on, you absolute idiot. You have been working in the dark. It is now 4 p.m. What is wrong with you?
Why are you working in the dark at 4 p.m?
Well, you know, like when you're in a room and then you have like...
Dead of winter.
But like the curtains are drawn.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
There's just
you
no
do that
light.
A lot.
Sometimes you need that outside help.
Yeah, and I approach it in a way that works for you, but it would not work for somebody else who forgot or didn't or struggled to shower for other reasons.
That's what I'm saying. So if it's a forgetting thing, and if I can see how it's coming from a point of self-care, great. I don't see that as belittling. What I do think is like, if we've got different shower habits, like if you turned around and said to me, hey Shaaba, I need to shower every single day, I'd be like, with respect, off. Like that's not what I do. That's not what I need to do. That's not what I want to do. It's not feasible for my schedule, and it doesn't make me dirty to not do that. You can choose to do that. Like OP here can choose to do things very differently, but I think as long as there's a basic level of self-care, they shouldn't be pushing OP towards it, or OP shouldn't be pushing his girlfriend beyond that. So is 7 days below or above that basic threshold? I don't know. Do you have an answer?
I think so.
I think so too. 3, 2, 1. Everybody sucks it.
Drama.
Oh, interesting.
I think that she clearly has reasons why she struggles with showering. Everybody sucks it. No, wait, I forgot what she did online.
That's why I'm saying everybody sucks
it.
No,
everyone sucks it. I was just purely thinking about the shower. No, everyone sucks it because of how she behaved after airing it like that. That wasn't appropriate because that's bad communication.
To be saying that you hate all men and then to be going online, like even if it's just to your loved ones, being like, and like twisting a story around, like speak to it together.
I completely forgot about that bit. That was an inappropriate response from her. It was too far because that should have just been a conversation between the two of you. However, I feel like OP isn't hearing her.
Yes.
When they're talking face to face.
He's like, no, it's gross because this is what I need to do. I don't care what you need to do. But that's what I'm saying. We need to establish what is it that OP's girlfriend needs to do.
Yeah.
Is 7 days and beyond 7 days too much?
Yeah. Is she actually gross?
I'm asking you. I don't know.
I don't
what
know.
Is the line
but
of
like
hygiene?
the thing is,
I don't know.
For you it's 4 days and then you start to realise that you're bestinky.
I'm like, I just feel a bit gross. You know, I feel a bit like, you know, like when there's a sticker on something, you take it off and then like you can still feel the residue. You're just like, I feel a bit tacky. I feel residue.
You're tacky and I hate it.
I'm tacky and I hate it.
But like for me, I need to separate it from my personal reasons of why I shower daily and how that makes me feel.
Objectively,
in terms
is
of
7 days too
actual
long?
like, well for me it's 2, but I have to account for testosterone, and I couldn't shower for about a week after I had surgery. I was horrendous, but I was like honking after 3 days. So
if you were a sim, you'd have those little green lines on you.
I would have, but it differs because if I wasn't on testosterone pre that, I could go 4 or 5 days comfortably, and I could wear t-shirts for multiple days and they wouldn't get stinky.
You know what my biggest issue is here?
Damn testosterone,
but also like damn sensory issues. It's so frustrating. I can totally appreciate that, but you have to be able to, like with everything, work within the contexts of those bounds. If you can't shower, what about a wet wipe shower?
I was just gonna say that.
If you don't like wet wipes, what about a warm cloth? What about some form of like steaming? Like there are different ways in which you can creatively still manage personal hygiene. It's difficult to know without knowing what the specific sensory issues are. And I don't like blame OP for not suggesting it, or even blame OP's girlfriend for not thinking about it, because sometimes you just don't know unless you're told. But I'm really hoping they're considering those other bits of advice. The other thing that's in my mind though is just because it's a sensory issue or something that you don't like doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it if it's what ultimately serves your best purpose. There is a line. Do you see what I mean? Like there are some people who hate to have their teeth brushed, and I get it. It can be a horrible feeling and something something that I will never understand if your brain just totally rejects the idea of things going in your mouth in that way. You need to brush your teeth. So we've got to find a way,
a balance,
to keep your teeth clean. Some people really hate cutting their nails.
Yeah.
But it can be really dangerous to not do that.
Yeah.
So there has to be, you know, like sometimes you just have to do it.
But there are alternative methods, as you say.
Absolutely.
Like if you don't like flossing, there's water flossing. So if you don't like standing under a shower, there's bathing. You can get a soapy cloth and then wash yourself with it and then wash the soap. Like there are ways to bathe and wash yourself that don't involve standing under a shower if you struggle with that bit specifically.
If that is the sensory issue.
I think as a couple, from OP, the conversation, I can see why his girlfriend feels belittled with him going, you're gross, shower. If somebody says to someone with depression, get out of bed, you're lazy. They're not.
Yeah,
they
exactly
are not.
that,
They're
right?
categorically not lazy.
Yeah.
There is a different approach that needs to be taken. And here, it's more of a case of, I know you struggle with doing this task. What can I do to help you?
To make it easier.
Do you want my help with this?
Yes. Maybe we set a calendar alarm where every 7 days, if that is your stinky line, where mine's 4 and yours is 2,
Stinky
if that's
line.
your baseline of stinky,
That's when you get your stinky lines.
you know, maybe we set a calendar alarm and we make sure that this is what happens at, like, we will not do the bins unless there's like 5 alarms telling us to do the bins. It's just not something that sticks in my brain.
I don't like doing the bins.
Things like that. There
Yeah.
are ways to integrate it into your routine where it doesn't have to constantly be a question. I kind of feel bad for both OP and OP's girlfriend that it's still an ongoing thing that's come to this.
Yeah.
I can't blame them for that because I wonder if maybe they just haven't thought about it. And I might sound really horrible saying this. I don't like saying this. A part of me also feels like maybe you're just not compatible. If you're not understanding that with certain people and with certain contexts, we need to be able to be creative and show support and not just judge. Maybe it's just a way in which you're not compatible. It doesn't make you a terrible person. It just means that you're chalk and cheese.
No, I hear that.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. But I can see why OP's girlfriend would get defensive after being told that she's being gross. Like, it's kind of,
It's not
it's
a
that
nice thing to
automatic,
hear.
like, shackles up, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, no.
And
you don't, maybe you don't want help from somebody who is addressing it in that way with you.
Absolutely.
It'd be an embarrassment, maybe.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say. Like, I feel also that embarrassment is also coming from a perspective of perhaps it's a little bit true. It's the purple broccoli syndrome. Sometimes you get the most offended by things because it is what's being said, and it can be really hurtful to hear that and be like, I know I'm stinky.
Yeah.
I'm just embarrassed that you are now telling me about it because it's still not something that I feel like I can fix.
Yeah.
I appreciate the edit on this post.
Yeah.
I feel like this is one of those situations where the guidance and the advice is more important than the badge itself.
Yeah.
And I'm really hoping that you're able to move forward with it. I really do I really want to press on this, one, not having to be a conversation through an integrated routine, and 2, hopefully finding alternative things that your girlfriend feels like she can do to maintain personal hygiene without it affecting her as much sensorily.
In a sensory way.
In a sensory
way.
Sure.
Yes, more words.
More words.
Should we see what other people have to say?
Sure.
Bro. Please. I know you love her, but there are a bunch of warning signs about her behaviour that tell me you should consider just moving on. If you have such an issue with her posting about your relationship publicly and she disregards that issue, that's a warning sign. If in her posting about your relationship she's making up details to misrepresent the entire situation, that's a warning sign.
I hear that, and I do think there's a nugget of truth there where I think OP's girlfriend is going online in that way. There's clearly something more wrong.
Oh yeah, that was
than just this.
That was completely inappropriate behaviour in my opinion.
It's exaggerated,
Yeah.
so I'd love to get her on a therapy couch, be like, babe, why?
Yeah.
Why did you feel the need to do this? Let's combat that. At the same time, I do feel like this commenter's not considering her viewpoint at all.
There's 2 parts of the story going on, and they've only considered her wrongdoing, not his.
Not the drama. I'm sorry, but I have no idea why you're sticking with a gross woman who has the emotional maturity of a 12-year-old girl.
Tell me you know nothing about neurodivergence without telling me you know nothing about neurodivergence.
Not just neurodivergency, but just like different people.
Yeah.
That's so sad. That's so deprecating. And that tells me a lot more about you, commenter, than it does about OP's partner.
Yeah. Her immaturity was in her response with sharing it publicly.
Sure, but like...
But not in...
I have no idea why I stick with a gross woman.
Yeah.
Like, these are the
That's
kind of
just
people
rude.
that if you suffered anything in life or went through anything in life that led you off the traditional, normal, cishet life path, they would dump you like hot shit.
Yeah.
I'm not here for it.
Dump you like a hot shit.
That's a big red flag for me.
That's my new phrase. Not the drama. I would just pull the ripcord on this after her response to a valid concern. As someone in your 30s, do you really want to deal with a partner that handles conflict like a 14-year-old?
Do you know what I appreciate about these comments? I'm like, oh, hang on a second. I do feel like everyone's like, not the drama.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where is your sense of
I
thought?
feel like...
But the issue is with the comments. It's not with the grace, apart from that last commenter who was horrible. It's with the fact that she posted it online.
It is. I feel like what a lot of these commenters are doing, the opposite of what I did. I forgot
Yeah.
about her response, and I was just thinking about the conversation about the showering.
Yeah.
They're not even considering that.
I do agree, though, that
part
was
of it.
really bad of Opie's girlfriend to do that. And with respect, I don't care if you have sensory issues, to be acting and handling your personal conflicts in that way and hanging the phone and not having conversations that you need to have. There's only so much that you can help someone if they're not willing to support themselves.
Yeah, I personally think as well that it started off as a conversation around showering, but the bigger issue in terms of the relationship is how she's handled it
publicly in the comms.
But just because she acted badly doesn't
mean that he did something bad to instigate it.
Yeah, it was undeserved, her response, but he's not free of blame.
Hence the everybody sucks here. Leave now.
I mean, I am not one to tell people to break up in a relationship, but I'm not fully disagreeing, because if you did that, if we had a tiff or a conversation about something that didn't go great and you just started blasting me online
and hung up the phone and wouldn't speak to you properly, it's a bit rude. Would you actually leave me because of that?
No, but I think it's
because it's not in my nature, so you'd be like, hang on a second, something's going on. But if it was new on, I understand why someone would be like, I'm not here for this shit.
We wouldn't be talking about the showering anymore, we'd be talking about our communication.
Yeah, and then we would need to discuss the showering, because that is an important point. There's clearly a big difference between them.
I'm now feeling like maybe we were overly harsh on OP and not harsh enough on girlfriend, but I still stick by the everybody sucks
you
here.
have your opinion. I agree, everybody sucks
There's
here.
different scales of suckiness.
Yeah.
I think her response is way outweighed and way unwarranted, but he still said that she was gross and approached the situation very heavy-handed.
For sure.
Yeah.
I appreciate that he's like, hey, no, I do love her and I want to support her. And I think that's the thing, we can only read X amount, right?
Yeah.
From this very, very tiny post, which is one small snapshot of one of the most tricky moments that you're having with someone, because that's why you come to the forum.
Yeah.
I'm sure 99.9% of the time you're having a wonderful time with your girlfriend. So maybe this is just one little hurdle. And if we all just gave up the first time we had some kind of difference, none of us would be in relationships.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate OP trying to get some support. And I hope that, these comments do not sound the most informative, to be fair.
I just feel like if these are a snapshot of the comments, they're not actually giving OP advice on the initial issue.
Yes, which is
shower.
Be creative.
Yeah, I'm not telling her to shower, but the shower issue.
Yes, which is to be creative with your solutions. If someone has sensory issues, you can hopefully find a different way. And that's my point. Navigate around having to have this conversation again.
Yeah.
Instill it in a routine. Ask for help. And I think OP's girlfriend also needs to hear it's not personal. Sometimes you do just get a bit stinky. From one stink to another, I get it. It's needed sometimes. It's okay.
Oh, you never get really stinky.
No, but I feel like if I didn't have a routine, and then if I didn't have you to be like, hey babe, you're kind of falling off your routine, I just want to make sure you're looking after yourself, I probably wouldn't eat very healthily or at all. I probably wouldn't shower or have any, my hair would be a greasy knotty mess. But sometimes we need people to keep us accountable, and that's important. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's not personal. Sign, stinky. Oh, drama. Am I the drama for selling my car that was a gift from my mum?
Oh, interesting.
Take
no
away,
idea.
Jamie.
Recently, I have been upset from the reactions of my family, especially my mum, when I planned to sell my car and did so against my mum's wishes. That was like a snapshot of what's coming,
yes, a blurb, if you will.
Ooh. For context, I'm a 20-year-old woman and my partner is a 20-year-old man. We got together a year and a half ago and have since been living together with his family. Okay, my partner and I had grown into loving cars since I met him, and it's something we can both bond over the same interest.
That's cute.
Okay, cool. So they're both into cars. We're currently
What do they call them? Petrol heads?
Yes.
Is that a thing?
I think so.
Or is it gear heads? Car heads. Track heads.
Woo, vroom vroom. We're currently strained financially, but we are managing things the best of our abilities. Sometimes I have to help out my partner more with money, which leaves me with less to spend myself, and I'm not getting paid a lot.
Okay.
My family likes to make comments about my finances and situations I get myself into, but I just take it usually.
And I do agree, there are some times in which you need to give a little bit more than you take. I'm not talking financially, I just mean in terms of your energy, your responses, your resources for a partner, right? That's okay. Same with friendships.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's giving, sometimes it's receiving, sometimes it's both. It's not always equal.
No. I wanted to sell my car that I've been fully paying for this whole year. The car was a gift from my mum, and she gave it to me once I'd got my license, and she had upgraded to a nice 2020 car.
Okay, so it was mum's car.
Mum's car.
Mum gave old car to kid.
Yeah.
And kid has been paying off the car fully.
Or just paying for the upkeep of the car, like servicing, fuel, insurance. My mum had that car for over 10 years. I know it's sentimental to her and more than just a car. However, I wanted to upgrade my car, and in order to do that, I needed to sell my car to get the car I'm looking at getting. Hold on. Okay. Sorry, I assumed the car was being sold for financial reasons in terms of not being able to afford the upkeep of a car. But OP just wants to upgrade the car. I wouldn't have been able to achieve this without selling the car for cash for a deposit. I also didn't think I'd be able to afford to pay for 2 cars, so I thought it was best to sell it. I mean, it doesn't sound sensible to have 2 cars.
Yeah, especially if you are having rocky finances.
Yeah. cars are money pits. I'd gone to tell my mum what my plans were and that I wanted to get a car that I really want, but my mum stormed off on me, which she never does because I usually always play it safe and have never done anything to be in my mum's bad books. That sounds a bit like orangey flag to me, of like, does OP have to walk on eggshells around their mum or something, or
Well,
are they just saying this?
Oh yeah, played it safe. Oh
Yeah.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah,
It just sounds like maybe they don't have a very turbulent relationship.
Yeah.
So this came as a surprise. But I hear you.
We never fight, but this triggered her more than I've ever seen her. She then started harassing me over text about how I shouldn't have ever given you that car. Give me the keys, I won't let you sell her, and if you go through with this, I'm disowning you.
Oh shit,
Oh.
that's bad.
That's quite an extreme reaction to a car.
Yeah, I mean, even OP said this has triggered her more than I've ever seen her before. So, like, because OP says, like, she's been sentimental over this car.
Yeah.
Why? What's happened?
Yeah.
Why is this car so important?
OP's definitely saying a few things to build up their family, and specifically their mum as maybe someone that's not the easiest to speak to.
I'm so intrigued.
Yeah, let's carry on. She was saying that the car was still hers, even though legally it was mine. She said how my partner is a bad influence and so is his family, which is not true because this was my idea alone. My partner doesn't egg on bad ideas, he only supports whatever I want to do, which isn't something my family does. I feel that my mum is hypocritical since she had gotten a loan for her new car. And then she says that my partner is bad for getting a loan on his. They are both the same price of cars, they both have. But you can have the exact same things, but if somebody's coming from like
A different
financial position, then it's gonna be, you know, potentially frowned upon.
Yeah. Or a less sensible move for one than it would be another.
Yeah, I feel she thinks since she is older it's okay, but since he's young he can't do it too.
I mean, if your partner is not able to pay for things because you're having to pay for some things for
then
him, I can get why.
I'm kind of seeing the mum's slight concern, because if she's aware that OP is paying for her boyfriend, and maybe that's the whole my family likes to comment about my finances thing that was in earlier, and then is like, oh well, he had to take a loan out for his car and now my kid wants to sell the car that I gave to her, but she helps him out financially, there could be an assumption that maybe that's where the money's going.
Do you know what else I'm finding a little bit weird? I can't get over this. My partner doesn't egg on bad ideas. He only supports whatever I want to do.
But that
Are you
would
saying
be...
that you only have good ideas?
Yeah, that would be... I did question that when I read it. I was like, does that mean that... Yeah, because surely if you have bad ideas and he supports them, that is him egging on bad ideas.
Yeah, and then he only supports whatever I want to do, which isn't something my family does. Well, maybe because some of her ideas could be bad? I don't know. Like, I'm a little bit confused with where OP is coming from.
I'm feeling like extreme reaction from mum, but I'm also OP is coming across kind of immature.
Yes, and of course the important thing to remember is there are 3 sides to every story.
Yes.
We are only seeing one right now. Yours, theirs, and the truth lies somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Because we're seeing it from different perspectives. Read on,
Okay,
please, Jamie.
last little bit. Since I'd sold my car...
Oh, so you just went ahead with it.
So she did sell it.
Okay.
Right. My family's been giving me shit, and my sister said once you get the car back, you get the family back.
Oh, gosh.
Bloody hell. After some thoughtful messages she had sent me. Oh, so like thoughtful, you get your family back when you get the car. Okay. She argues that it was the family's car and that my mum paid for the car even though that was 10 plus years ago. She also said I deserve to be disowned.
Goodness gracious. Over
This
a
is
hunk
messy.
of metal?
Yeah.
I'm so confused.
But I'm also confused because it doesn't matter that your mum bought the car 10 years ago. She still bought the car.
But then it seems that she gifted it, right? The car was a gift from my mum.
Yeah.
And she gave it to me, and then she got a new car because you got your license. And you have been paying for the car. And the car is now legally in your name.
We got one more sentence. At this point, I don't think I will take back the car, but I also think the treatment I got from my family is unfair. I just want some outside, non-biased opinions. Am I the drama? Okay.
There's so much happening here. It's
There
really
is a
messy.
lot. I rarely question the motives behind the post and like honesty behind some of the portrayals,
You're not
because I
buying
try and
it.
take it at face value.
You've got a bullshit sniffer
I'm
going
not
on.
buying it. I'm detecting bullshit.
A crap dart.
Because I have very strong crap dart detection. I don't have a strong crap dart
Beep, beep,
detection, but it is beeping today.
Yeah.
OP's admitted that they love cars. OP's admitted that they are in financial difficulty. They
As
help
is
their
their
boyfriend.
partner.
They've admitted that their boyfriend took out a loan to get a new car, and they've admitted that they went to their mum before selling the car, and their mum said don't, potentially overreacted, and they've sold the car anyway to buy a new car. Not to cover financial difficulties,
Yeah.
but to buy a new car despite being in financial difficulty. This does not add up to me.
That's a bit of a plot twist, right? Like, I didn't expect that to go down that route. I
Yeah.
thought they were saying I was going to sell the car in order to get me and my partner out of debt.
Yeah.
And they said no. And I think that's unreasonable.
Yeah.
But no, it was I wanted to upgrade.
Yeah.
And I can't have two. It's weird.
It sounds like to me they can't afford these cars. OP doesn't pay monthly for the car currently, but is going to by getting a new one.
But do you think that's why Mum's saying it? I don't think so. I think Mum is saying it because she wanted that car to stay. I don't think it's a I'm concerned for you, dear, because then why would you be like disown? And why would you not say I'm concerned that you can't afford it? Unless that's information that OP's not provided, but we have to take it from what we see.
Yeah, and I'm a little confused, but I think I have a badge.
3, 2, 1. Everybody
You are the
sucks
drama.
here. Interesting. I'm leaning more towards you are the drama. Like within the everybody sucks here, I think OP sucks more than the mum. The thing that makes me feel like I can't just totally brush it aside is I think this family's really toxic for saying I'm going to disown you. It just doesn't fly with me. I cannot say that you're not drama for that. It is a personal trigger.
It doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't make sense, and that's why my crapdar
ping
is
ping.
beeping so quick. And that's partly why, because I'm really struggling to believe that OP's family's response is purely on this.
I'm gonna disown you. Yeah.
I think something else is going on. I think something else with money is going on. And can I also say, as somebody who was very privileged enough to be given their first car as a parent's old car, I was in the same position as OP.
Yeah.
My first car was my mum's old car. She got a new one. When I wanted a different car and I could afford my own one, I was more financially stable and I could actually afford it. And I went to my mum and I said, do you want your car back?
Yeah.
That's what I didn't say. I need to sell the car you gave me to buy my new car.
I think it's funny because of context of the object. I think this is one of those situations where the principle differs from the nuance.
Yeah.
If I'd given you a board game and I went, hey, I'm having some more, I'm gifting you this, I wouldn't expect you to make sure you give it back to me if you wanted to sell it. You can just sell it because it's a smaller item, but a car is such a big item. I would expect, as you said, to do what you did and not just to sell it.
Yeah. And my mum turned around and said, no, you can trade it in to help you with your new one. But if she'd said, no, I want it back, or no, any money you get, I wouldn't be mad. Even though I'd paid for like tax insurance on it, she still paid for the car. So in my opinion, OP just went about it all wrong. Family's response sounds disproportionate, but I'm not buying that there wasn't something else that caused that response.
Yes, the only thing that I would say, like caveat that, is where OP says, I want to sell my car that I've been fully paying for this whole year. If that is that you've been paying petrol, insurance, whatever, then your mum still bought the car, dude.
Yeah.
But if it's within that year, you've been paying her monthly for the cost of what she bought the car. But no, it's a gift. She said the car was a gift from her mum.
And she said that her mum paid for it 10 years ago.
Nah, ping ping, ping ping. You are definitely part of the drama. And like within
Big
my
part.
everybody sucks here, I think OP is a large you are the drama. And then a little bit is don't be saying that you're disowning someone for selling a car.
I do agree with you that disowning for selling a car, if that is true,
It's just not sounding right.
everybody does suck here because that's a disproportionate response.
Oh, what do you think,
But
Peaches?
I just don't buy it. I'm
Do you
just not
buy
buying it.
Is Jamie being too cryptic? I'm with you.
I do hear you as well, though.
But sometimes if things don't make sense, there's a reason, and it's because it's not adding up.
Yeah.
You gotta listen to that gut feeling.
This is quite a fun detective-y one to go through. Not that I'm reveling in other people's stress.
So, not the drama.
Oh, something I was arguing yesterday was that a parent's love should be unconditional. It truly shouldn't matter how badly the child screws up. The parent should love and support no matter what.
Hang on a second. And this, I do agree with this. The love needs to be unconditional.
The support does not.
But it depends on what we're saying with support. Are you talking about blindly supporting whatever they do? Or are you saying offering support by telling them what you feel is right, regardless of whether it goes with or against what they want to do?
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah. It's vile to me that your mum chose a car she gave away over her child. But that's why it's not adding up to me. Here's the worst part. You didn't even screw up. You're an adult. You're making do with your finances. But OP said they're not making do. They're struggling with their finances.
But they're wanting to upgrade a car.
And their family has commented on the way they struggle with their finances.
Do you know what I find really weird about this post? Because you were talking so much about the finances, OP, and then go on to be like, and I'm selling a car to buy another car. Like, why did you need to tell us about your finances?
Yeah.
If the mum hasn't brought up anything about the finances being an issue, well, I guess maybe she did. Yeah, no, she did, right? Because she was just like, but he has a car the same value as my car.
The commenter continues, you made a decision that best fit your situation. At worst, mum should be saying, well, I wish you wouldn't have sold it, but if it's what's best for you, you should do it. I disagree with that. It's not what's best. OP themselves has admitted that they are financially struggling. They had a car that was fine, that was not costing them a lot of money. To get a better car, they wanted a new car. They had to sell it for a deposit, which means they are paying even more for this new car. They're taking a loan out for this car. That is not the best decision. If OP were my child, I would never say I'll disown you based on that, but I would say, don't think that's the most sensible decision. You have a free car. I mean, that you just pay for the upkeep. No.
As well, like if I'm playing devil's advocate, it's like, well, mum gifted it. So if it's a gift for you, it's yours, right? You legally own it, not mum. And I do think it's wrong for mum to be like, oh, I own the car, even though you might legally, it's still my car. That's a problem. I wonder if that's coming from desperation from mum because of these things that aren't quite adding up.
Yeah.
I don't think that's very fair. And then the other devil's advocate thing is just because you might not think that a car is very important, you're like, oh, well, you know, I'm not a massive car head. So if I've got one that's working and I'm in financial financial stress, then that's fine. Why are you going to spend more on a new car? But then similarly, you might be like, well, I don't have a lot in the bank, but I'm going to spend it on Lego because that's what really makes me happy. Maybe for OP, the car is what makes them happy, and that's where more of their budget goes to. That may seem like reasonable to a person. I'm devil's advocating. I know a Lego is not the cost of a car.
I hear your devil's advocating, but I think there's a difference between spending more than you perhaps should given your budget and then spending beyond what you have.
Beyond your means, yeah.
And I think it sounds like
maybe
that's the realm OP's going into.
Yeah. Well, OP's partner definitely seems to be spending beyond their means.
I'm not super into cars, but I had an idea of a car I wanted, and I really wanted it, but I got this car gifted to me very fortunately. I didn't like that car.
You saying when you really wanted the little Mini?
Yeah. The car my mum gave me was not a great car. It was old, it wasn't fantastic.
It was just like banged up little Ford Fusion.
Yeah, it needed some help.
It did. But it was really cute.
I had that car. I was grateful for that car until I reached a point where I could comfortably get a car I wanted. OP's actually replied to this comment and has said, thank you so much for your comment. This is exactly what I thought, but it seems like my mum and family put a car over me and I've come to accept that.
Ultimately, regardless of how badly OP may be acting or how badly OP may be managing financial situations, for anybody to feel like their family's putting a car over them is not a nice place to feel. And clearly the family's not doing a very good job at supporting them. Yeah. Because even if you're trying to help your kid out of financial difficulty, this is not the way. So you're right, something is not feeling like it adds up.
Something's not feeling like it adds up.
But I do stick with my everybody stuff
at all. I'm still going to stick with my you are the drama because it's not adding up.
Sure.
It's because I don't believe the story.
Interestingly, that comment that OP's put has -5 responses. So I think the forum is not happy with that response.
Yeah, there's something going on.
Interesting. Not the drama. This is clearly just the latest problem with your mum. You should Google narcissistic parents and see if that rings a bell.
No.
Would it actually be bad to be disowned and not have to deal with her for a while? I'm really confused with where this comment is coming from, especially because OP specifically stated, I've not had an issue with my mum before.
Yeah.
It really confused me how much she was triggered by this, because we don't argue. This is definitely the wrong use of the word narcissistic parents.
Yes.
Or just narcissistic.
I think it's because there's part of me that is reading OP as wanting to portray their parents in a very specific light to get sympathy.
Which I understand could happen even subconsciously if you're feeling some kind of way. But you do need to be careful if you're coming on forum and asking for advice. When it doesn't add up, it's feeling like it is loaded. Ping, ping.
OP's responded to this one as well. See, they're very engaged in the comments.
But also on the ones that are
supporting
saying that
them.
they're not the drama.
OP has said, my partner did see this coming and thinks of my mum as controlling, and if she doesn't get her way, then she gets upset, which I see it now, and if she wants to get back into contact with me, she can, but I'm not going to reach out to her and beg for forgiveness. I don't think I'm in the wrong personally, and if my family is that quick to flip on me over a car, then I wasn't worth much to them in the first place. They valued the worth of the car over me, and I would be better off without that negativity.
If that is the case, you are totally correct, OP. And honestly, if this is what you feel you need to do, I do think your parents are wrong for not speaking with you. Your family is wrong. Yeah, that isn't right. Maybe there needs to be some honesty as to whether that is what's happening. But if you're taking it on face value, you just can't.
I can't. I don't know what it is. Something is really, my gut is telling me something is not right here.
This is really interesting. I don't think we've had this before.
I've never had this before because I've done my own Am I the Drama stuff as well, and I've never had this kind of vibe of just you are full of it. And if you're not, I really do feel for you, and it is everyone sucks it. You did do something wrong in your approach to the situation, but you absolutely did not deserve to be treated like that by your family, and it is very shitty. However, even OP's response there, it just feels so, oh, poor me.
Oh gosh.
That's the vibe I'm getting.
What do you think, Peaches? Do you feel the same way? Do you feel as strongly as Jamie does? Is there a way that you can sort of pinpoint these feelings? Let us know if you're watching this on YouTube down in the comments, or if you're watching this on a podcast platform over at 1-800-DRAMA-POD.
Please do.
I am intrigued.
I will feel so bad if I'm wrong, and I fully accept I could be very wrong because this is just words on an internet page.
All right, one more comment.
Yes.
Not sure if you are the drummer.
Okay. How are you paying for a car that was a gift to you? You are living with your boyfriend's family. You are not self-supporting.
That's a good point, to
be fair. That is a good point. I didn't think of that. You are not financially secure at all, but you want a better car than the one you have that only requires money for gas/insurance/maintenance. Do you need a new car? Nope. The one you have seems to be running fine. You want a new car. You want to take on a car payment, though you're not financially stable. That's what your mother is upset about, in my opinion. She gave you a car since she could have traded in or sold herself because you needed reliable transportation, and doesn't sound like you can afford car payments.
Honestly, this is the thing that kind of, I feel like, puts the finger on what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
And it makes a lot of sense.
It
and
does make a lot of sense.
OP has responded to every other comment on this forum except this one that's calling them out for seemingly seemingly reasonable ways.
I have calmed myself a little. I do feel bad for OP being in a situation being disowned by their family because that's not fair. But honestly, it is still not adding up. And I do agree, if you are not living independently and you are financially struggling, upgrading your car is perhaps not a sensible decision.
You still sticking with you're the drama bad? I don't blame you for it. Like,
I think I will. I think something else is going on in the family. I don't know.
My gut's telling me this is bad. My gut. I hear you. That's fine. That's all right. That's cool. Oh, this is a really interesting one.
This is a really interesting one. I feel like I could go all detective over it, but then...
I feel like you already have, babe. You already have.
Yeah.
All right, this final submission is from Overthinker, a fellow Peach. Thank you so much for submitting. Anybody listening to this podcast, if you would like to submit your own Am I the Drama, you can do so over our website, shaabaandjamie.com.
Yes, please do. So drama. So Shaaba, was Overthinker the drama for not telling their roommate's boyfriend she had cheated on him multiple times, including with his best friend?
Ooh, drama. Spicy. Spicy.
That's a long title. Let me just get it in my head.
Was I the drama for not telling my roommate's boyfriend she'd cheated on him multiple times, including with his best friend? So Overthinker has a roommate.
Yes.
And the roommate has cheated on her boyfriend multiple times, including with the boyfriend's best friend.
Got it.
And OP knows that the roommate's done this and is asking if they should tell the roommate's boyfriend.
I think they're asking, were they the drama for not telling roommate boyfriend?
Yes.
This is a past tense one.
Yes. Okay. This happened over 10 years now. Oh. But I was recently reminded of a decision that I made the first year of uni, and I'm interested to know another perspective. So it's a thought exercise for now. I'm so intrigued though.
Love it.
Does boyfriend know? Now, maybe we'll find out. Okay, I was a 19-year-old woman at the time, shared a dorm first year of uni with another 19-year-old woman. We'll call her girlfriend. At first, I didn't mind the idea of sharing a dorm room because I thought it would be a good way to make friends and have someone to help navigate my first year. However, it turns out we couldn't have been more different.
Okay.
Interesting. Sometimes that can make the most wonderful of friends.
Sometimes that's magical.
What's the one that I'm thinking of? The one with Kat Dennings and the blonde?
Two Broke Girls.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm more of a stay-in, watch a film type of person, says Overthinker, whereas she was a go out and get wasted 4 times a week type of person. Which you?
Stay home. Why do you even ask?
I didn't really care until she started to bring strange guys back to our room and doing you-know-what with them. Just for context, my bed was about 5 feet away from hers and I'm a very light sleeper.
Oh, literal roommates, because I never know if it means like a shared flat with a separate room each, but like, no, I couldn't imagine doing like hanky-panky with someone 5 foot away from me.
I'm still assuming there's a wall in between them. But
not necessarily.
If
this is like an American dorm room, they literally share a room.
No, I couldn't do that with anyone. What if you need to like fart?
You do that with me.
Like, yeah, but like we're together.
Yeah, oh okay, you can do that with a friend.
No, I couldn't.
Yeah, no.
Not permanently.
Do you hear about the friends who go on holiday together and the bathroom is just completely exposed?
No.
Yeah.
No. Oh no. What if you eat a dodgy curry, especially if that's abroad? That's so risky. No.
Go on the balcony whilst I have diarrhea.
Also, just saying, if we are roommates and there is a wall in between us, which is the only situation I would be in, don't be bringing strangers back to the room without me knowing. It's just not safe.
It's a shared space, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You go and do that elsewhere.
Not appropriate.
After the first couple of times, I asked her to stop and she flat out denied it.
You denied it?
Maybe she was in denial or gaslighting me or just so drunk she didn't know what she was doing. But anyway, the conversation didn't go well. So I went to see if I could change dorm rooms, but there weren't any available unless I want to spend £5,000 more than my student loans wouldn't cover. So I purchased noise cancelling headphones instead, but they didn't stop my uneasiness whenever she brought a random guy over. Understandable. And you are very within your right to ask that, OP. I had another talk with her a few weeks later and basically said, I don't care what she does, but can she please do it at his place, not in the room that we share? And to her credit, she didn't, but she would come home some nights, which made me worry a little that I put her in a dangerous position, but she did always come home the next day. Look, that's not for you to worry about.
Yeah, she's an adult, she's making her decision. It's also dangerous for her to be bringing people back. Something could happen and it could happen to both of you. If she wants to take that risk,
that's on her.
Yeah, if she wants to let people know where she is and who she's with, then that's what she can do to stay safe. But
and that's also on her.
You can't control what she's doing.
Agreed. But you can control what happens in your space.
Yes.
Anyway, says OP, it was about halfway through the year when she introduced me to her boyfriend from home and his quote-unquote best friend in bunnies who had come to visit for the weekend. I was a gobsmacked. She hadn't mentioned him before and I didn't know what to do, but I decided to keep my nose out since I still had a few months of living with her.
Right.
Anyway, all three of them went out that night, got drunk, and came back at about 3 a.m, not quiet at all, and woke me up.
Right.
Interesting. So you would think that maybe OP's roommate would be like, hey, my boyfriend's coming over, maybe don't talk about my sexual escapades.
Yes. She does sound like she's in total denial over them, though.
But you don't just forget that you have them.
No, I think it's denial. I don't think she actually has forgotten. Unless she would, like, you can forget if you're very drunk, but that's kind of worrying. That
No,
you
especially because you're waking up somewhere else now and coming back the next
then you
day.
would know what you've done. Yeah. She's just, it's a denial thing.
Very, very bizarre. Or maybe she's in an open relationship.
Maybe.
Which is also a possibility, in which case, no problem.
Yeah.
Questions, thoughts,
Keep
so
reading.
hooked. The boyfriend went to the bathroom and the best friend in Bunnies said to the girlfriend, let's get in bed and pretend to be asleep, which they did.
That's weird.
That's so freaking weird. I'm assuming they're the same or a similar age.
Yeah.
Like, that's something I expect a 7-year-old to do. Like, oh, let's get
pretend to be asleep.
so mummy and daddy don't see. Like, what?
Yeah.
The boyfriend came out of the bathroom, saw that they were in Bunnies asleep, and proceeded to make a bed and fall asleep on the floor. As soon as he started snoring, the heavy breathing and moaning and groaning started from the bed.
No!
I was livid. Not only were they showing me no respect, but to do it while her boyfriend, his best friend, was 2 feet away from them was disgusting.
I'm shooketh.
Hang on. So wait, you're actually telling me that they don't
in
between
a way.
them, even
No,
without the
they don't.
boyfriend being there, like
They don't.
this girl is just just like
Shameless.
shamelessly bonking with you 5 feet away.
But she knows.
Able to hear and see.
She clearly is aware of what she's doing. It's clearly not an open relationship. She waited for him to be asleep. But also,
With your boyfriend on the floor.
can I say, if you and me went out with one of our friends
Scandalous.
and we came back and I went to the loo and you were spooning a friend in our bed, I wouldn't just get on the floor. I wouldn't be mad because but that's the thing, I know you wouldn't be doing anything bad. You'd just fallen asleep.
But it would be a bit like,
But I'd be
the
like,
fuck?
but I'd like be like, friend,
Bestie.
ow.
Yes, I want
I'm
to spoon my
sleeping.
girlfriend.
Yeah. It's so bizarre.
This is very bizarre. This is something that I'd expect to see on one of those like shit rom-com shows that you make
This
me watch.
is honestly,
Like Love is
OP,
Blind and
this
oh
needs
my
to be
God.
like your experience with this needs to be a book. I would read this.
Oh my god, I am shooketh. I debated, says Overthinker, whether to wake the boyfriend up, but they were all pretty drunk, and the guys were the type to start a fist fight, so I fished out my headphones and tried to ignore it.
Yeah.
After all, I only had a few months left with this girl, and I never had to see her again, and I figure the truth always comes out in the end. So they didn't even check to see if you were asleep.
Yeah.
That's like some level of exhibitionism.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do it.
No.
It's very weird. Anyway, I'm thinking about it now because a mutual Facebook friend of ours posted a photo of the boyfriend and girlfriend's wedding, and guess who the best man was?
Ah!
Oh my god. I'm wondering if the boyfriend knows what she and he got up to at uni. From the photo, I'm guessing not, or he's a lot more forgiving than he looks. I'm now wondering if I should have given him the heads up, left a note in his bag or something, but honestly, I didn't want to drag myself into her drama. Was I? Therefore, am I the drama for not doing it? Should I have done something at the time and told him what had happened, but potentially made my living situation worse? P.S. She was one of the popular girls, so undoubtedly, if I blabbed, she'd have turned the other girls on my floor against me. They already thought I was crazy for suggesting that she would sleep with the random guys that she brought back when I tried to confide in them. Anyway, sorry for a long story. I wanted to get it off my chest and see if he'd have done things differently. The spice. This is Vindaloo level.
I'd have honestly just wanted to every night she was out beyond like reasonable bedtime, knowing she was going to bring a random dude home. I'd have put a chair against the door.
Yeah, but you can't
You
do
are
that,
not
babe.
coming in.
She also pays to live there.
She can go sleep in a bin.
Get rid of the badges.
Yeah.
Would you have said something? I can't believe they're married now. If they're not in an open relationship, if I were OP's boyfriend, I would want to know.
I would want to know. However, if I found out a best friend was being cheated on, I'd tell them. If I found out a best friend was a cheater, I'd confront the friend and be like, the heck are you doing?
Fix this.
Sort yourself out. And then if they didn't, I know it sucks, but like I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. It's so hard when the person being cheated on is not the person you know.
Yeah.
That's what makes it extra complicated.
Well, especially because you're not friends with this person. So it's not like you have the
Yeah.
rapport to be like, get your shit together. Roomie.
Honestly, I don't think I would have done anything differently.
You wouldn't.
And people people can judge me for that. I'm not judging OP for what they did in the situation because it sounds hella awkward.
I hear you.
Messy. They're at uni. Like,
it's a temporary contract.
we need to judge this based on OP's knowledge and life experience and situation as that 19-year-old sharing a dorm room, still having several months to have to share with
and
this
just being
girl.
like, I need to not be in this situation anymore. I just need to make this as easy as possible and get out of it.
What if she told the boyfriend, or knew already, they were in an open relationship, he didn't really care, or he majorly confronted his girlfriend about it and shit went down and then it landed in OP's lap?
Question.
From the girl.
Would you, if you were OP's roomie's boyfriend, so the one being cheated on, the groom,
yeah,
would you have wanted roomie to tell you? Put yourself in that position. Would you have wanted to know from roommate?
I'd have wanted to know.
But not necessarily from that person.
Not necessarily from someone I didn't know.
Well, who's going to tell him? The best friend?
Yeah. My perspective on that is from like two things. One, it's sometimes difficult to trust things that you're told that maybe seem not right from someone you don't know. Like, you want to hear something that heavy from a friend, someone you trust.
Yes, but also if they are in the room and they're saying, hey, I've literally witnessed this and I've witnessed this multiple times and I'm living with this person, I could be like, look, mate, I have no idea who you are. Why are you telling me this stuff? But it would still leave a thought in my mind because I'm like, well, actually, you are living with this person. It would give me the means to then confront my girlfriend and be like, truth.
I hear that. Also, it's not as if girlfriend is being discreet. He could have easily woken up and been like, what the f*** is going on?
I mean,
like,
she waited for him to sleep.
Honestly,
give her some credit.
10 years and that's how she behaved at uni. I would be like flabbergasted if there wasn't some kind of inkling that something was going on.
I think that's my point. Like, if you're feeling that overthinker, imagine what friends and what his friends will be thinking and feeling. If this is happening with his best friend, who else in their network is it that is aware of this situation who would also be able to tell groom? If you know this,
other people will.
If she doesn't tell anyone else, you're the only person living with her. This is quite the conundrum.
This is. But I can
overthinker.
also see how it's been instilled in OP to not tell other people because they tried to tell the other girls who knew her and they were not happy and they said, no, that can't be true.
All right, I think I have my badge. I think I'm going to say not the drama.
Yeah, I'm going to say not the drama.
I don't think you're the drama overthinker. I do think that you are in such a tricky position. My other badge that I'm like so teetering on the fence with is undeserved drama. With condolences. I see the position that you're in and it really sucks, but you have no relation to this person.
Yeah.
Once you leave uni, that's it. You're never going to see this person again. You're not friends. You were going to be in a shitty situation right there where you thought both of these guys could have also caused you physical harm.
And in the long run, I honestly think all this would have done is made your last few months having to share a room with her really horrible.
Yes.
And you don't deserve that because of her shitty behaviour.
Yeah, maybe that is a selfish decision coming from you, but sometimes being selfish is not inherently a bad thing.
Or drama.
It's just something that you need to do. And in this situation, that's how I see it. What makes me feel sad about that is that if I were the groom and I didn't know, if this isn't an open relationship, I would want to know. And if there's no one else that's telling me because no one else has literally experienced it by being in the same rooms that she's in, apart from the people that she's sleeping with, which are of course not going to tell him, that feels really sad. That the groom is like committing his life away to someone who isn't treating him very nicely. I feel really controversial about that decision.
If you were, I'm not, because like I think we can all sit high and mighty from an outside perspective of not being in it and then also having the new information 10 years later that they're married, which I'm not even thinking about because OP was never to know that at that point in time in the dorm room.
Question, would you say something now?
Would I say something now? No.
You're like...
No. I think there is only so much that we can offer our like hearts and caring to other people, and this is one of those situations where I think it could have backfired a lot on OP to say anything.
Yeah, I think if you were actually friends, I would say something.
Yes.
But because there is no bond between you beyond that, it's not your responsibility.
You don't owe any of them anything.
And you need to put yourself first, and in this situation, putting yourself first means not saying anything.
Yeah.
It's really sad though. Oh my goodness, I do think that is a controversial decision though. What do you think, Peaches? Please let me know.
Because the other thing is, OP's feeling guilty for not saying anything, but OP could equally to this day be living with guilt had they said something and there were bad consequences, like the two guys got in a fist fight and someone got hurt. OP would be like, oh my god, I shouldn't have said anything. That was my fault that happened. And that was partly why OP didn't want to say anything on that night, because they felt that could happen. Sounds like they didn't think that highly of the two guys.
Woo! This was a big one. If you enjoyed today's episode, my loves, please feel free to give it a little rating over on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Remember, you can rate every single episode. It truly helps us out so much if you can do that on listening platforms, even if you're listening to it over on YouTube first.
Really does. And if you are watching on YouTube, think about getting the video a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel if you want to see more, and go join the conversation in the comments down below.
Most of the people who watch these videos actually are not subscribed, so I would really, really appreciate that. Don't tut! Thank you so much. Be kind.
Much love.
And have a great day. Bye.
Bye.